We're going to end this section on parabolas with a couple of applied questions. I think I should have probably just put this in the last video. There's only one type of question that we're doing. The applied stuff gets really difficult, and I already think this is pretty advanced. This is harder than I would normally teach in a college course. So let's take a look at it, but I would not assign you anything significantly different than what you're going to see in these two. It's really the same question twice. Okay, so we have an applied problem here involving a parabola. They're talking about this fire starter. So the idea here is that the parabola takes the sun's rays and directs them all right to the focus. So we've got our diagram here, and we know that this is the focus. We've got all these dimensions outlined for us. Now, one thing to notice here, in part B, we're going to look for the depth. Now, the igniter or whatever, the focus is not right at the depth of the bowl. There's a difference here. So notice like the top of the bowl would come across like this. So it starts out, it's pretty easy actually. We want to find the equation for a parabola that this is modeled by. Well, let's first of all notice that we're going vertically. So this is going to be this version of the equation. So this is our normal vertical. This is going to be positive, of course, because we're opening up. Okay, so we're working with this formula. Well, this is the focus because all the sun's rays are hitting right there on that spot. That makes it the focus. And so the way you get from the vertex to the focus is P. So the value of P is 1.7. So all we have to do to find this equation is x squared equals 4 times 1.7y. That's all we have to do. And I could just hit the button and show you the answer, but I want to talk about the next part before I just show you all that. So I've got this turning out to be x squared equals 6.8y. All right, so that part was easy. There's our equation. Now, how about the depth of the fire starter? Well, we need this depth right here, but that isn't any point. This isn't one of our endpoints. There's nothing we have here that typically could find us this depth. Well, what we're going to do here, we're just imagining that our origin is running right through here, that we've built the vertex right at the origin. So all we need to do here is we need to find the value of y when x is right here. So basically we're going to find this point. Well, how can we do that? Well, we know that all the way across this bowl, whatever this is, this solar fire starter is 4.5. So half of that, so from here over, must be 2.25. So that's the x coordinate that gets me over here. If I could find the y that goes with it, then I would know the depth. I'm just looking for the y. I've got the x, I need the y. Well, how do we find the y if we have the equation and we have the x? It's simple. We're just going to put in 2.25 squared equals 6.8, and we're going to solve for y. And that y, the partner coordinate for 2.25, that just happens to be the depth. So there was our original equation. And here they are doing what I was just saying. So they've just put in that coordinate to solve for y. So y is about 0.74. So the dish is about 0.74 inches deep. Okay, so the same exact thing here. They didn't give us a diagram, but it's something like that. We've got our focus here. This distance to this focus is 320. It's 106 or 1600 all the way across. And then what we're going to be looking for is the depth again. So we're looking for this. Now it's not the same as the height of this focus. It's not exactly the same. So just like before, we're going to need to find this coordinate. Okay, well, let's get started here. We've got a parabola opening upward, which is our normal x squared equals 4py. So that's pretty straightforward. All we need, P is then going to be that 320. It's the distance from the vertex to the focus. So that's all we got to do. X is 4 times 320 y. That's it. So let me crunch that. I get 1280. So x squared is 1280y. So there's our formula. Well, what do we need? To find this depth, we need the y-coordinate at this point right here on the end of the dish. Well, we know the whole thing across is 1600, so that makes halfway across 800. So we've got this set up at the origin, so our x is 800. We just need to find the y that goes with it. So 800 is going in for x equals 1280. So I've solved for y. I'm going to let them finish that for us. Turns out you get 500 millimeters. Okay, so that's the only applied problem. I would give you something just like this or a variation very slightly different. And that's it, short and sweet.